Misa Nara Krista! Aloha! I'm sorry. I wore this Stitch shirt. I bought it for my students. It says, what is it? I have two different versions. What is this one? Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. This is the Mistakes Were Made shirt, which is very on par for what we're gonna be talking about, which is Bungie and Destiny, and mistakes were made. But you know what mistakes weren't being made? DMG going off. That's right, he's no bar hold, and neither are we. So let's jump in and see what it's all about. Scholars, welcome back to the Counselor's Office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are back with some more videos, a little bit more livelier, even though I'm doing this at like 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm about to get 4 hours of sleep because I've got to get ready. I'll be leaving to go see friends for the 4th of July, so I'm going to be doing some recordings tomorrow, live streaming, or today should I say, because the 4th I'm not going to be home. So I would do a very patriotic video for you all, but I'm just going to do what I can, and then I'm going to be gone for a couple of days and then coming back, and then next Monday is when I start summer work clubs. Technically I'm gonna be playing a bunch of Pokemon and Magic the Gathering with kids for 4 weeks, and it's gonna be one heck of a time. So I'm looking forward to that. But before we jump into the main topic today, let's get in with comment of the day. That's right, comment of the day. Woo. All right, so we got comment of the day. So we reacted to, let's start with this one. We reacted to some of the toxicness in the Bungie community, specifically where there was a bunch of weirdos calling another person in the community a PDF, a pedophile. And we found some of those losers in my comment section. So I want to, let's shame them. Let's talk about it and shame it. So we got Red Badger. It's a couple of memes, dude, on the internet. Get over yourself. I generally don't even know why you're so triggered. The only weird loser here is you. So there's that one. And then another one. The fact that you're this heated about this makes you part of the problem. It's fucking Twitter, bro. What do you expect? Plus the fact that regardless of who's in charge of the count, Trump is still a scumbag. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The weirdest loser of them all here is you, whining like a baby on camera about people shit talking about a Twitter post. Get over yourself. So 2 different instances. I was making fun of people getting upset about the Trump tweet. And again, this person's butthurt because of that. And then the other, this is like 2 sides of the story. This is about me calling up people being stupid on Twitter about calling people an allegation, which is minimizing the impact of, child molestation, pedophilia, all that jazz is very, very serious stuff. And you got a bunch of losers on, making it a joke, making it a slur. By the way, I'm just going to, either you're a subhuman being who thinks it's just funny to joke about it, or you are a closet pedophile, which is why you want to minimize and water down what it says. I know that's a serious allegation, but it's just like what I say about other things. You can't be complicit and neutral when it's shit like this. You can't be like, I'm gonna ignore it, guys. I'm just gonna ignore it and it's okay. No, either you agree with it or you disagree with it. If you think pedophilia is a joke and then you can joke around and meme it just because it's on Twitter, that doesn't, it doesn't matter. If you think it's a joke, then you're the joke. You're a subhuman being who is okay with pedophilia. Stay away from kids, please. Talking about staying away from kids, I'm sorry, that's not a great segue. It's not a great segue, but we do have DMG. We have several things going on about Bungie, but DMG is not holding back. He's also informed us about several things that are happening. So let's do that, and then we'll talk about why I have a little bit more respect for DMG, because DMG is actually doing his job, communicating. Wow. If only we had those expectations set a long time ago. But here we go. So no TWID today. Here's your this week in Destiny. Patch next Tuesday. Handful of fixes from the team, current and former, which means don't expect any more. To deliver Vanguard Crucible rep, Elevator in Seraph Shield, Deepstone, a few other things that could be squeezed in. Full list next week. Do not have any solid date for our final TWID installment. We will provide info via D2 Team's account when possible. Please expect all future D2 comms to come from that account or Destiny the game. Appreciate the patience, which, by the way, I always said that DMG was one running those accounts, but the guy that was actually running those account, I guess, got fired. You know, good. Bye. Peace. But DMG apparently is moved into that role where he's just like, he's just the only person communicating with us, which we'll see how long that lasts, because you can only communicate about Destiny for so long before they decide you're no longer needed. But we do have some updates from Destiny 2 team while we're on that track. Let's get it out of the way because there was a couple of things that have happened this week. So we got some updates. Let's talk about this first. Over the last few weeks, we've seen videos concerning a handful of armor set bonuses that are presenting balancing issues within Crucible environments. Keyword PvP. Two in particular deal with health regeneration and rapid super generation. While this can be fun to discover, it presents poor experiences on the receiving end, opposing teams and trials having supers by round 2. I heard about this. It's insane. Or consistent 1v1 engagement being determined by a set bonus triggering. While these set bonuses will continue to function in PvE modes across the game, we like to prevent these balance issues from impacting the Crucible moving forward, and will be disabling the following: Grasp of Avarice Dungeon 4-piece, Overflow Coffers. While you have stacks of Untold Greed, Orbs of Power, and Elemental pickups provide more of their respective energy, and Strand Tangles deal increased damage. When your shields are broken, all stacks are converted into a fountain of Orbs of Power. That is, I think they even nerfed this already. They nerfed this armor. They went nuts with some of the armor sets. We went from the armor sets feeling pretty mid and useless, to some of these are absolutely game-changing, nutty professor, which I'm here for. It feels like an MMO. It feels like you're playing Diablo 4 or 3, whatever. You know, they have set bonuses that actually matter. Like, it feels good. Now, you could argue maybe some of these set bonuses should have been like a rarer. You know, because some of these set bonuses feel like an exotic, to be honest, which is also really cool. Also, the other one is the duality 4-piece Bittersweet. When you stow a weapon, restore health based on the number of built bitter stacks. We will continue to monitor player reports in case more set bonuses prevent balance issues and take action when needed. So they are no longer, we're at the point where they're no longer, I'm assuming they pulled some people from Marathon to help tweak the last bit of, you know, game breaking things, but we knew this was going to happen. We are no longer getting actual updates that will fix armor or weapons. They're just going to disable it, which has me really scared, because there's some really broken combos in PvE, and maybe they're going to be nice enough to just let it ride. I hope they let it ride. I literally was farming Vault of Glass with a Warlock with Giles, whatever, the exotic. I haven't used it in years. The Giles exotic with 1-2 punch, using the solar super, max melee, just over 100k in damage. Now, they could have also just been cheating. I don't know. I don't have that build, so I don't know. But they just destroyed Atheon with this build, and it was insane. But anyways, I'm not saying that I want that to stay around. I also don't want it to be nerfed. It's kind of cool, but or they were cheating, in which case, you know, who knows? So the other thing, the update we got this week, we have just deployed a server change to prevent the map Meltdown from appearing in Crucible playlist. Why? Issue at hand, players could get out of bounds, reaching previously inaccessible portions of the map that gave unintended. So, oh, Meltdown. So yeah, you could jump up top of the wall. There's like a slot where you can jump and you could shoot down. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, because you could just shoot the guy that's in plain sight It wasn't that big of a deal. I don't think it was. Sound off if you did. I played a lot of it in Iron Banner. It wasn't that big of a deal. A fix is planned for next week. Once released, the map will enter rotation once more. Now we go to DMG. DMG. So we have Mark Noseworthy. He was like the vice president of Bungie. Pretty big deal. And so he's reposting Jacob Navik. These pieces are intellectually lazy at best and doing a disservice to workers at worst. So this guy, Jacob Navik, is essentially trying to blame the market for why things are bad versus blaming leadership or people who are making decisions on video games. And so Mark Noseworthy says, repost the second time in 2 days. I feel compelled to retweet. Again, Mark Noseworthy, one of the leaders of Bungie, probably also one of the people responsible for some of the shitty decisions that happen in both Bungie and Destiny. So DMG replies, no fucks given. Feels somewhat disingenuous to place blame purely on the market without asking for accountability from leaders who made multiple years of poor decisions too. But nuance is hard to find on Twitter. Did not give a fuck. Now, apparently DMG clarified, like Mark Noseworthy is like, is this targeted? And DMG is like, no, I'm just stating what everyone's fucking thinking is like, the whole industry is not putting accountability on the leaders for these shitty decisions. It's all these people getting laid off, these studios getting laid off, and the leaders are getting away scot-free, which is what's the common trend here is you have all these people losing their jobs except for leaders. But you gotta, this gave me some respect to DMG. The you know, everything's toxic positivity. Everything's like, and he's like, bam. Ovita say, but it doesn't, he goes again. DMG says, glad we got this on the event track after years of it not being available because an Iron Lord won last time. It is the emote that was way like, one of the first emotes that you got and it was a purchase. So guys, like, what about the $15 I spent for that emote 8 years ago? Now I will say he's actually done with everyone's shit. I love it. I'd be too of how some people act. Listen, I do think at some degree, it is kind of shitty that you pay for something. But at the same time, it's like the same thing with discounts on Steam. You buy something full price and eventually it becomes half price. I'm not going to be upset that something's cheaper. That's just how it goes. In this case, it's been 8 years. They're putting it through rotation. You got your 8 years out of it before anyone else. Hell, they used to do that with Destiny 1 with console specific exotics. You'd get it and like a year later or two, everyone else will get access to it. It was, by the way, I believe it was PlayStation get all the little extras. But yeah, people fucking hated that. But I've been through that, so it's like, right? But one little last tidbit that was in the week, right? Something, 2-sentence insider report on why Destiny 2 died. That's right. We have some inside information. So it's able to be summed up into 2 sentences from one of my sources. This is Paul Tassi, by the way, just so, I mean, if you didn't get it, it's Forbes, Paul Tassi. It's the Tassi man. I know King, one of my dedicated viewer subscribers, has Tassi fatigue. I'm sorry. We're limiting it to just 2 paragraphs. You got this, King. You got this. I believe in you. So, one of my sources with knowledge of the situation who spoke on the condition of anonymity. The simple, still maddening explanation. This is about the layoffs and how everything went downhill because of the enormous scale of content that we had to be produced nonstop, lest fans revolt against its scarcity. Destiny was only very rarely profitable during its entire lifespan. So let's continue. We'll have a conversation. When Destiny was profitable, those extra funds were often immediately misused by leadership at the time, funneled into way too many simultaneous incubation projects or ideas like spending tens of millions on a new unneeded 200K square foot headquarters. I think you answered the problem with the second paragraph. Destiny is profitable. It could be profitable. The problem is the leadership spending shit instead of reinvesting in the game. They're investing in bullshit. Also, I think a lot of what happened was season burnout. I think if they did like one big update, like Monument of Triumph, like one big massive, it changes the entire fucking game. And maybe like a couple of like mid-season like activity, like if you got your little events, whatever, your bullshit events, but like one like we got the update to Contest of Elders. Contest of Elders? No, that's the new one. Is that the new one? Oh my god, I've already got D1, D2 mixed up. Anyways, we got update. We got the April update. Well, I think it was April. You got the Taken armor, you got new weapons, and it was just a small little update. It wasn't really massive, but it was free and it kept people playing the game. Like stuff like that, I think builds a lot of goodwill. People are patient, especially if they know at the end of the year, we're about to get a banger, an absolute banger update. But I think, like I said, there is a lot to be said about leadership. I mean, we all know this is the fact. So more people, as I said before, more people are going to start leaking information, and you gotta love it because we're getting little tidbits. But I mean, we didn't really need people to leak this. We already knew this. Like, I'm glad you have more sources to state the obvious. Like, but it's obvious. Anyways, I want to see more unhinged DMG. And just know that we're getting one last twid and probably no more updates. This is going to be it. This is going to be it. And yeah. You're going to have to find a new forever game. May I suggest a Warframe? Less weirdos. And they're pretty chill. Unless all the Destiny people move over there, in which case I'm hoping that there is a little bit of pushback from the Warframe community. That they keep the bottom denominator, like these losers, keep these trash cans out of the community. They don't come to Warframe. You're weird. You're a loser. No one wants you. Thank God. As always, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Short video for you. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. We're making our way up to 10,000. And I'll see you in the next one. Huzzah. Bye. I said bye, guys.